Hello, and welcome to the Pollinator Habitat How-To webinar series. And today we'll be covering the basics of native plant gardening. Our next speaker is very brief, and then we will end for today. Laurie Scott is going to cover just kind of a summary of resources just to kind of help bring it home.
Hi, my name's Laurie Scott, and I am just going to do a quick review of resources that you guys learned about today. So, our host today, the Arkansas Monarch Conservation Partnership, that website has got a plethora of resources on it. And then we have Wild Ones. I'm the vice president of Wild Ones, along with Rosalind Emery and Camille Newell. Our website is chock full of resources that are local to the Ozarks specifically. And then we also have our YouTube channel with lots and lots of programming on there for all sorts of things, habitat and pollinator related, wildlife related. It doesn't just have to be pollinators. That just sort of sets the base for the food system. Once you get the plants and the bugs, everybody else gets to eat. And then to find out what is coming up when you seed in, like Jessica was talking about, or if you go on a native plant tour and see something different, all you have time to do is snap a picture. There are resources to learn how to ID that thing that you saw, whether it's learning about bugs or learning about native plants. And that would be iNaturalist and Seek. Seek is sort of a more basic application for identification. If you tie it to iNaturalist as you learn and sort of grow out of Seek and are ready to step into iNaturalist, your data points will still be there for you. When all else fails, even for me, I go to Google Lens. Sometimes using Google Lens on your smartphone just simply helps narrow down a lot of the noise that iNaturalist pulls for you. And helps you hone in more on what you might have. Today, we also had the Xerces Society mentioned as a resource. Missouri Botanical Gardens is a great resource, as well as Lady Bird Johnson. They're very similar in the way that they work. They're laid out slightly differently, but they both have really, really good information and then also good pictures of what those native plants might look like. I'm more familiar with Lady Bird Johnson because you can search that by 3-month segments of what is blooming and also by color. But you may be able to do that on what I've referred to as MOBOT or Missouri Botanical Gardens also. Prairie Moon Nursery was used today. This is an online native plant vendor, so we're not necessarily going to be receiving plants that are native genetically to the Ozarks, but sometimes that can't be helped. It will give you information if you want to grow from seed, such as artificial cold cycling or what we call stratification, and also germination requirements. So does that seed take 10 days, 30 days, 60 days? They're all vary. And then the other one for nativars, if you want to take a deeper dive or do some reminding about what Holly talked about today, we have budburst.org, which does nativar research through the Chicago Botanical Gardens. And then they're really community focused. And one of the things that I find interesting about native plants as you grow to identify them on your walk or going hiking is the phenology. So what time is that plant blooming every year? For myself, I take a picture of the first spring beauty I see every year in roughly the same ecosystem, hopefully the exact same. And I post it onto Facebook. And when my memories start coming up somewhere between the middle of February to the first part of March, I can see from year to year when that first bloom appeared. And as you do that over time, you'll notice that it is starting to become later and later, or we're having that plant bloom 2 different times, once in the spring with a big healthy bloom, and then sometimes just a real quick pop in the fall. I saw a rattlesnake master blooming yesterday, and I've never seen it bloom in November. The Biota of North America, or BONAP, is important because that will give you county by county information So I just tried to take some seed from a St. John's wort to a seed swap. And I did not check Bonap because I'm used to seeing that plant in ecosystems. Well, according to Bonap, it doesn't belong here. It's out of range. So I did not take those seeds to seed swap. And it is important to go to remind yourself to check Bonap and make sure that what you're getting truly belongs here in the Ozarks or the River Valley or wherever you are. And then you've heard us talk about genetics and you've heard people mention ecotype and things throughout the day today. When you're really ready to take a deeper dive on sticking with plants that are native to your space or your county, then you can take a step into the natural divisions of Arkansas. We have 6 natural divisions within the state: Northwest Arkansas, we have the Gulf Coastal Plain. There are several of them. It's very interesting to take a larger view of the state and what's going on. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for listening and go over those resources with us.
Thank you so much, Laurie, for really just rounding out the day. And thank you, everyone, for attending and joining and sticking with us as we go throughout the presentations. I'd like to thank the presenters for sharing their knowledge and their time with us today. And I will be posting these recordings to the Arkansas Monarch Conservation Partnership YouTube channel. Thanks again.